Welcome back to Summerlee Raceway here at Larkhall in Scotland for more round 3 race action from the Ultimate Karting Championship. The circuit here offers drivers plenty of overtaking opportunities, and you can expect plenty more this time.
Before we get underway with the first race action of the weekend, let's have a look at a lap of the track. We're on board with Lucas Blanford. Off the start line, the little left-hand kink is the first turn. That brings you down to another left-hander. Lucas using the visor cam for the first time, so we get a real driver's eye perspective. This is the new section of track, the left-hander into the right-hander. Used to be a double apex. A lot of crashes in the double apex, and we've seen a bit of an incident there. Come out of the bottom of the circuit now. We're on the long run up to the main body of the circuit. Right-hander coming up. This is an overtaking opportunity. You'll see plenty of overtaking here this weekend. This leads down to what used to be the hairpin here on the left, but this is the new section of track now. Tighter hairpin comes out of this hairpin. The old hairpin is on the left now. That leads to yet another hairpin. Lots of overtaking opportunities, and of course as a racing driver that's what you want. We're now down to the right hand kink. Here it is, right hander. Not really an overtaking opportunity, but this turn is the final turn on the track. You'll see plenty of overtaking here this weekend on that corner, and that is a lap of the circuit here at Larkhall.
Well, our first race up then is for the Mini X30s with Macaulay Bishop, our championship leader, looking to dominate once again. Let's go and join Jake Sanson as they line up on the grid.
Time for some X30 action now from the Minis. Macaulay Bishop and Eden Spanswick from Jack Hobson and Taylor Orridge. Aidan Hassan, George Robinson, then Hill, Cucurella Yeomans, Mins and Leslie in the top 10. And then behind them, Jack Mowat, Finley Brown, Ashton Wiggins and Cameron Pratt-Thompson, who will have to start this race from the back of the grid. Don't expect him to stay there long though. Here we go, first corner, and we are away racing. There's a problem already as down the order and almost out of it, Sebastian Mins. He's clearly got some kind of problem off the start as Taylor Orridge slots into third place behind the fast starting Macaulay Bishop with Eden Spanswick in second place.
Bit like Dan Ginchard we saw earlier. Macaulay Bishop, a serial winner in this class this season, is going to be tough, if not impossible, to beat.
Well, Spanswick's certainly giving it everything he's got, and this is the difficult situation that Paul Munn has got. He's got two firecrackers in his squad in 2021, because you've got Bishop and Spanswick very close to each other, but this is the team game. They will have discussed this in the awning. Look, if we get into first and second place, there's no two ways about this. We're going to try and extend the lead over Taylor Orridge and stretch away. There is the 348 making names out there. Finley Brown as up the inside, Cameron Pratt-Thompson, here he comes. I told you he wouldn't stay on the back row for long. He is working his way through the field like wildfire, and he's already made it as far as P7.
Cucurella Yeomans up to fifth as they went through the line. It's Bishop from Spanswick, Orridge, Hobson, Cucurella Yeomans, all the typical names that we expect to be out front, and it's pretty much as you've been most of the season so far, apart from perhaps Cameron Pratt-Thompson, who's had to come from the back.
And what a drive it's been from him so far. He's making massive gains, but it's still Bishop and Spanswick. Orridge is right there though, so Taylor Orridge with an opportunity to try and split them. It's going to be a matter of when rather than if. He goes for the move, it's now! He's going to split them up early. Now this is danger zone for the Paul Munn Racing twins at a critical moment. This is not what they wanted. Taylor Orridge breaking up the happy family. So Spanswick gets back on the inside line in the final turn and takes second position back again.
And helps out his teammate in the process, but Orridge down the inside, I think he's got it.
Oh! That is a lovely move through turn one. No intimidation at all after Spanswick's retaliation. Taylor Orridge has an objective. He has a game plan clear in his mind. Split the boys up and give them some hassle. Out in front, Macaulay Bishop has a bit of breathing space now to Taylor Orridge in second place. Spanswick coming back on the inside line. He's through in a second place once more. And Jack Hobson sat there in fourth place. He's getting frustrated. Come on, guys, what are you doing? You are swapping positions and you're letting the man who's dominating this championship get a clear gap. Here comes Orridge again on the inside line for the hairpin. They are absolutely resolute. I'm going to be in second. He taps his helmet. Stop it. Stop passing me. We need to catch Bishop. Spanswick's not listening. He goes again. And this time, Orridge holds him back. Hobson is going to try and get through instead. Jack Hobson moves to cover, gets the place. Enough of this, boys. Pack it in.
And that is a Kai Hunter type of move as he taps his helmet and says, let's get after these in front. Jack Hobson with yet another brilliant move. That's the only way to describe that. It's one opportunity, you go for it straight away, as clean as you like. That is Jack Hobson right there. We know, again, he's a top quality performer, and he just showed it right there in that one instance.
Yeah, that's definitely the Eminem move, as I like to call it, because you only get one shot, one opportunity. Absolutely amazing run. Fantastic work there from Jack Hobson to split those two up. He had to do something, though, because, look, Macaulay Bishop is already a second clear. So now we've got Orridge, Hobson and Spanswick trying to chase down Bishop. It won't be that long till Pratt Thompson is on their tail. They continue to battle. Oh, hello, look! Spanswick's got back through. So Spanswick into third position past Hobson. Well, that did not last long. So Orridge has set the fastest lap in second place. So now you've got Spanswick, Hobson and Pratt Thompson. He's got past Gorilla Yeomans. So that's an interesting little challenge. A little further round. Round one, tactics return. He's trying to back Orridge into his teammate.
Eden Spanswick, though, is not quite close enough to be close. He's not close enough to Orridge for him to be backed up into him at the moment. So if he tries it, it might go.
Here we go! Orridge on the inside of Bishop, launches. Job done. Excellent move from Taylor Orridge. And for once, Macaulay Bishop has that beautiful smile of his wiped clean off his face.
Yeah, but he's a quality performer. He's actually, I think, he's one of the best young drivers I've seen since Oliver Rowland, since we used to race against Oliver Rowland.
Yep.
I think he's arguably one of the best I've ever seen since then.
And now all of a sudden, he's got his teammate to play with him. This is where they're going to team up and do the double time on Taylor Orridge if they can get a chance of it. Bishop doesn't actually need the support from Spanswick initially. He's right there, back on terms, up on the inside. Have some of that. Spanswick's got it. Oh no! Spanswick collides with Taylor Orridge, and they've both gone off. Taylor Orridge has actually cut the circuit through the barriers.
And that will be an automatic one-lap penalty because he's missed around 250 metres of the track. He's not completed that lap.
Now, let's see how it happened. Look, Bishop's on the inside. He's got the move. Spanswick's put himself on the inside.
Now, should he see him? Should he see him?
Yeah, I think he's seen him. But he's held his line. And I'm afraid that is two drivers going for the same gap.
He could hit the brakes now, pull his kart back, but he would end up in 14th place. What he's going to do now is try and blag it. That's the angle from a different angle. That's from the drone. It may look different from the drone.
It's so hard to call. I think that one is probably 6
there you
of
go.
one, half a dozen of the other.
Slowed down. He's slowing down, so he's going to try and blag this. He's going to try and say, I'm hard done by. I was taken out.
Yep.
I was in second at the time, so all I've done is I've regained my position, but you can hit the brakes, you can get out of the cart, pull the cart out,
Taylor,
rejoin the track where you went off. He has not done that, and the clerk of the course, if there's any clerks of the course watching this who would not give a one-lap penalty under those circumstances, I would be absolutely astonished. Not one. It's an automatic slam dunk. And don't shoot me for being the piano player. I'm just telling you what the regulations tend to be under the circumstances. I've never seen anyone not get a one-lap penalty when they've missed 250 metres of circuit and rejoined. My son did have a look at this, and interestingly, he said, yeah, that's exactly what I'd do. I'd drive through the barrier and try and blag it in the office afterwards and say that, listen, I was taken out. All I've done is rejoin my original position. Notwithstanding, of course, that what you should be doing is hitting the brakes, pulling the cart back and rejoining the circuit on the correct side of the barrier. Will be down in 14th as Orridge goes back into the lead. So as far as he's concerned, he's still racing for the win. I think the officials may have a different view, though. And talking of that, there you go, Kart 66, a one-lap penalty, and under the circumstances, I can fully understand why they've given that penalty. Taylor Orridge will disagree. Macaulay Bishop loses second now.
Yes, he does, so that's Jack Hobson. He's now technically the race leader now, of course, because Taylor Orridge has the one-lap penalty for going across the circuit and cutting through the barriers. So Hobson has watched all this unfold and gone, do you know what? I can win this. As we continue through the race, you can see Orridge isn't moving over, but from his point of view, it's irrelevant. He shouldn't move over. He's got to try and keep pushing for the win no matter what.
He needs to win on track.
Yeah, absolutely, he does. That's the only way he's going to win. He has to win on track, because if he doesn't get a penalty, we know he's got one. He won't know he's got one. He will guess that he might. Bishop on the inside of Pratt Thompson, trying to get the exit on the switch to Hobson, doesn't get it. Hobson taps his helmet. But Taylor Orridge, look, he's being shown the blue flags. Orridge is being shown the blue flags, so now it's official. So Orridge, he's being shown the blue flag. Get out of the way of the leaders who are now on the last lap.
And he will ignore that. Indeed, I'm going to say this, as he should.
Oh, Bishop is launching on Hobson, and he's there. That is such a cutthroat overtake. That could have an interesting ramification afterwards, because that was genuinely threading the needle when there was barely a gap to go for it. Pratt Thompson's going through on the inside. Now it's Bishop trying to hang on to the lead. Pratt Thompson's there on the inside. This isn't over. Hobson's all over the back. Off the road goes Bishop. Pratt Thompson snatches the lead.
Hobson!
Here goes Hobson. Big dive. Pratt Thompson comes back at him. What a finish to this race this is. Hobson's held it. That is amazing. And now Bishop is going to get his launch on the inside of his teammate Pratt Thompson. And that's Ashton Wiggins. Where did he come from? Victory though for Jack Hobson. Brilliant result. Bishop will grab second from Cameron Pratt Thompson. The comeback kid gets the third position. He was almost out-dragged at the line by Ashton Wiggins, who comes from nowhere to finish up in fourth position. Good run from the privateer. George Robertson nearly caught them as well. Morgan Hill, Eden Spanswick, Thomas Cucurullo-Yeomans from Aidan Hassan and Finn Leslie. But Jack Hobson, take a bow. You just won the mother of all Mini X30 finals. Epic stuff.
Jack, you've been close, but you haven't taken the top step, but you took it today. And just talk us through that last lap. It was fantastic.
Yeah, so I got overtook on first corner, and then in the first hairpin, they were PMRs come together, and I got past them both and kept it round to the final corner.
Okay, great result. Well done. Who do you want to thank though?
MLC Motorsport, P1 Power, and my dad.
Well done.
Thanks.
Jack Hobson is going to remember that victory for a long, long time. Macaulay Bishop still leads the title fight. Hobson is now second, though, ahead of Spanswick. Cucurullo-Yeomans and Finn Leslie very close indeed. Taylor Orridge losing a lot of points as a result of that one, but there's still a long way to go. Bishop is almost uncatchable, but Hobson could just do it.
X30 Minis once again showing why they are one of the most exciting classes to watch. After the break, we move up to the X30 Juniors. Welcome back to Larkhall, where the Round 3 Ultimate Karting Championship action continues with the X30 Juniors. Sam Shaw had a strong performance at the opening round and narrowly missed out on the podium after an eventful final in the wet. He recovered at round 2 and won in the pre-final and the final. I caught up with him earlier to see what he's thinking ahead of this weekend.
At round 1 at Wilton Mill, the final was a wet race whilst we were out there on slicks. I managed to make my way up to the lead, but then unfortunately the rain started to come down and I made a couple mistakes.
There goes the leader, Sam Shaw, straight off the road, straight across the toe of the boot, trying to rejoin in front of the leaders.
I managed to make my way back up to second on the last lap. I was following Gabriel Still, who was in the lead, and then I tried to follow him into corner. He went off, but unfortunately I went in a bit harder and went a bit more off, and then unfortunately lost two positions.
He's just trying to hang on. Look, the back of the car is stepping out sideways. He goes up on the grass, so does Sam Shaw. They've both gone. And now Caudle gets through in a second, Carr gets through in a third, and that surely has the win nailed for Gabriel Still.
Onwards and upwards after that round, because at round 2 at Rowrah you won the pre-final and the final, so Rowrah was a good weekend for you.
Yeah, Rowrah was a very good weekend. I was very consistent through the heats, and then I managed to start pole for pre-final, and then managed to lead every lap in the pre-final and the final, and take the win at the end. The circuit here at Larkhall is very, very technical. First sector is quite fast and flowing, and then it goes, once you go into the middle section, it becomes quite technical and slow. So you've got to focus on getting good exits around there. Very confident going into this weekend. I've been relatively fast for the testing. It's possibly not my best track, but I think we still got the pace to compete and hopefully win.
Expect Sam Shaw to deliver action. He always does. Here's the grid. Connor Duncan and Lorenzo Caudle from Stilpen Carr, Shaw and Archie Clark. Then Zaki Hussein and Sam Baker from David McIntyre and Kyan Gohill. The final grid positions taken by Gracie Mitchell, Ben Doughty, Thomas Wainwright and Remy Gilbert. This will be an interesting one right from the get-go. Junior X30 always delivers plenty of action. Here we go. On board with Archie Clark as we go through turn. Oh, contact! Lorenzo Cordell's been spat out of the queue. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Lorenzo Cordell. It gets very tight indeed through that first apex. And I'm afraid it's always inevitable that in at least one of the races, somebody's going to be spat out onto the grass. And on this occasion, it's Lorenzo Cordell. He has got going again, but he's dropped right down to the back of the field. Connor Duncan has got the lead here in front of Sam Shaw and Gabriel Stilp.
Lorenzo Cordell is second in the championship. Jake coming into this round.
Stilp on the inside of Shaw. That's a beautiful lunge in the first lap. And Gabriel Stilp into second place already.
Well, Connor Duncan out front could bag himself the championship lead if all things go his way here. Stilp in second, Shaw in third. Major championship contenders. Cordell has it all to do now from 14th. Came into the round in second place, but is not sitting in second place as things stand. He's 14th on track.
Yeah, he'll try and get onto the back of the grid as quickly as humanly possible. In fact, there he is. So Lorenzo Cordell has wasted no time getting onto the back of the leaders. Connor Duncan, though, has got a second on Stilp and Shaw already. So Stilp and Shaw need to settle their differences and go after the race leader, Connor Duncan. Otherwise, they're only in a race for second place. Here's Archie Clark as he chases down Zaki Hussein and running wide. Stilp's gone off. Now that looked to me like that was a mistake from Stilp. I didn't see any contact with him and Sam Shaw. I think he just made an error.
And then he's clipped the inside curb there. That slowed his momentum. He's going up the inside now.
Good recovery. He's up the inside of Zaki Hussein. A lap later, we're past Zaki Hussein. And so is Baker because the door was left open enough. So Zaki Hussein, unfortunately, has dropped 2 positions in one go. Now, obviously, that's going to give Zaki Hussein a little bit of motivation. He's going to push him forward. And who's going to be leaning over the pit wall, cheering him on? That's going to be Caden Mcqueen. Come on, Zaki. He'll be pushing him all the way for motivation.
Yeah, that's what I like about Caden. He really gets involved with his teammates as well, especially the younger kids.
Yeah, he's a wonderful role model for these guys. Zaki Hussein being chased down by his teammate, Gohill. And so, obviously, those two can work together. Archie Clark, 5th position behind Carr, Shaw and Stilp. Not bad for the grandson of an English rallying legend. We could do with an English rally star at the front in WRC. Well, Elfyn Evans is doing well, but he's flying the flag for Wales, of course. So, oh, big move on the inside. Gabe Stilp into second place by Sam Shaw. So that is a little bit of ground to make up now on Brandon Carr. But Gabe Stilp clearly feeling, well, maybe this win is out of the question after all.
Absolutely, but he knows that Sam Shaw is one of the main contenders in the championship. He would rather be in front of him than behind him. Let me get in front of you. Let's see what pace I've actually got, and let's see if you can hold on to me or not.
I've got a feeling this is about to get spicy for second. It's been a very interesting run from Brandon Carr. Here we go. Gabriel Stilp has caught him up. This is imminent now as far as Gabriel Stilp is concerned. Brandon Carr, he knows that Connor Duncan is uncatchable. He has lost another second to him over the last 3 or 4 laps. Here goes Stilp, second place, no waiting around. Textbook, beautiful.
Fantastic move, and through to second, and not only that, he's got Brandon Carr between himself and Sam Shaw, and that's the way Gabriel Stilp likes it, and that's the way he wants it to stay, quite frankly. He's not going to catch the winner. I say the winner. Obviously, anything can happen, Jake. Wow. We've seen it before, but now, Connor Duncan goes through the line now. It was 2.9. Look at that. It's 3.3 seconds the lead at this stage.
You don't need to be a maths whiz to know that gap is huge. Archie Clark still pushing the leading trio. Oh, he's on the grass. Goodness me, that's so easy to do through the first corner.
It was the gloves, Jake. They just steered him off the track. Blame the gloves.
Okay, well, do you know what? I think those might actually be my gloves. They've got some holes in them now, so I'm sorry, Archie. I'll get you your proper ones later.
Lorenzo Cordell is definitely on a mission. Dropped to 14th through turn 1, as we saw earlier, on the grass. There he is on the 30 kart. He's already up to 6th place now, and he'll be looking to try and get on the podium, I guess, from here. Not impossible with the pace that he has currently. Gracie Mitchell, the only girl in the field in this one. You were talking about the depth of talent in Europe with the girls racing, Jake.
Yep, nice move there from McIntyre and Wainwright almost getting the move done. But no, you're absolutely right. And the wealth of talent from the girls is definitely getting stronger. Up the inside goes Wainwright, gets the move there on Kyan Gohill. Gohill's going to try and get it back again on the inside. Has to concede that one. That one's not quite going to work out. But no, you're absolutely spot on. There is a waft of female talent coming through, not just from in the UK, but across Europe now. We're seeing it in the European Championships. We're seeing it just below that on the AMEX 30 bill in Europe now as well. I think next week when we race in Castelletto in Italy, there's going to be 11 female seniors of the 89 or 90 or so competitors there's going to be. That's that's over 12% of the field being females. The talent is really starting to come through, and Gracie Mitchell could be one of those that ends up on the European scene if her progression continues on this bout. So excellent work from the young girls in the field. Obviously, Ellis Stevens came out of the X30 paddock here and has worked her way forward and moved up into Europe now. Which
I believe she's just taken part in a European event and did pretty well.
Has indeed. Still checking out in second. Here is Brandon Carr up towards that very fast right sweeper where you've really got to commit. And Sam Shaw is definitely getting closer and closer to Brandon Carr. It's a matter of when he goes for the move now rather than if.
He will want to go for a move, of course, because 2 karts in front of him is Gabriel Stilp, and he's one of his main championship contenders. So he'll want to make sure any points that he loses to Stilp are as small as possible.
So Duncan, Stilp, Carr, Shaw, no change. Clark, Caudle, Baker, and there is Zaki Hussein. Then there's Gracie Mitchell, number 11. And we've got, that's McIntyre. It's Doughty, Wainwright and Gohill. They're getting very close together as they battle away. Whoa! Gohill goes around and into the barriers goes the 36 of Tom Wainwright. He is going to really struggle to recover from that.
The sponsors will be particularly happy with that crash, Jake.
I suppose so, yes. That's definitely helped them out in terms of marketing, but it's not helped Wainwright out at all. Let's have a look at it again. They come off the hairpin, and you can see Doughty is trying to move across there to cover Wainwright. That was a bit cheeky. Gohill thought he had momentum, turns in, bang! And Wainwright is on a one-way trip to the barriers. Look at that. He just about misses the Armco, actually. That's why he's able to get going again, and he will recover. He'll be a lap down, but he is very lucky indeed. Back on board with Clark. Caudle's on his tail. They lap Wainwright, who gets out of the way. Caudle on the inside. That'll do. Textbook manoeuvre in the hairpin. Just the tiniest hesitation from Clark as he was lapping Wainwright, and that is enough to put Lorenzo Caudle up into the top 5. All of a sudden, as we go into the last lap, what did I say about Lorenzo Caudle? Hello, mate. You're in P5. I knew 5th position could have been possible if he just kept the faith, but he is there in 5th position. Absolutely brilliant comeback from Lorenzo Caudle.
He was right down the back of the field after his turn 1 incident. He was off the track down in 14th place. So what would he have done? Lorenzo Caudle, we know again, is another quality driver. What would he have done if he hadn't gone off the track in turn 1?
Well,
who knows?
Sorry, Connor Duncan, you've barely been on screen for the whole race. It's just because you've been able to pull away so far.
He doesn't care, Jake. He doesn't care. His name's been on screen. That's all he cares about.
What a drive. Connor Duncan absolutely sweeps all before him at Larkhall. That one means the world to him. Still been 2nd place. That's a good result from him. And Sam Shaw gets the podium finish in front of Brandon Carr and Lorenzo Caudle. The resurgence to P5 is so crucial in terms of the title fight. There are now 4 drivers separated by just 2 points in this title fight. This is going to go right down to the wire. Connor Duncan takes the victory in front of Gabriel Stilp and Sam Shaw. Brandon Carr in P4, Lorenzo Caudle still in the hunt in P5. Archie Clark, Sam Baker from Zaki Hussein, Gracie Mitchell and David McIntyre. But a 4-way title fight in UKC in Junior X30 is imminent.
Well, a dominant win there for Connor Duncan. He missed out on the podium at the opening round at Wilton Mill, and he took 2nd place at the last round at Rowrah. He's gone one better this weekend, taking the top step of the podium. He's got to be thrilled with that win. Let's go and see what he had to say when we caught up with him at the podium.
Connor, always a front runner and an outright front runner today. Just talk us through that final.
Well, we went into the first corner. I wanted to just get through it quickly. I knew the number 2 and 3 would go side by side, so I knew I'd get a bit of a gap from that, and I just cleared off.
Fantastic result for you. Who do you want to thank for your weekend?
I'd like to thank my dad, Red Waft and Paul Carr for the great engines.
Okay, well done.
Thank you.
Such is the nature of this title battle. Duncan and Stilp were looking at being 1 and 2 in the championship at earlier points in the race, but Shaw getting up to 3rd and Caudle getting up to 5th now means that it's just 2 points covering the top 4 drivers in the championship. This has all the makings of the most epic fight in 2021.
X30 Juniors delivering the excitement, and after the break is the X30 Seniors out on track. Welcome back to round 3 of the Ultimate Karting Championship. We're heading out to the grid right now as some of the senior X30 drivers, some of the oldest guys here. This certainly will be a great race. Let's see how they've qualified on the grid then with your race commentator, Jake Sanson.
I've only just got my breath back from the Mini X30. Now we've got the seniors to come. Caden McQueen and Oliver Greenhall from Watson Moody, Atkins and Johnston Cool, Angus Morsdale, Steve Brown, James Otto and Hugo Gilbert. Outside the top 10 is Cameron Coombs, but just check out who's on that front row of the grid. Caden McQueen versus Oliver Greenhall. If this doesn't have action written all over it, I don't know what does. And then, of course, you've got to watch out for the man in the red suit in third position, Luke Watts. Here we go, through turn 1, and Watts is in a second place already behind McQueen. Greenhall is there in third position. Our cameraman is going to be the race leader, Caden McQueen, throughout. Watts has a little bit of a look on the inside. Kalai Atkins through in a fourth position. Tucks up in front of Alex Moody. Louis Johnston Cool and Angus Millsdale getting good starts as well. So Angus Millsdale is just there in front of Alex Moody at the moment. Oh, here comes Greenhall on the inside of Luke Watts. We are not waiting around at Larkhall.
That was a fantastic move by a top quality driver. And there's Watts going through to third as well. You were talking about Greenhall earlier, Jake, about his exploits out in Europe, and he's been doing some fantastic things out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Great work over the course of the season. Watts initially lost third position to Carly Atkins, but he got straight back on the horse in the hairpin, and he needed to. It's up the inside. That's Alex Moody in the final turn, getting his bid on Angus Morsdale, and he gets through into the top 6. Brown is 8th, then Otto, Gilbert, and Cameron Coombs as they continue on charging around the circuit. Can Caden McQueen pull away from Oliver Greenhall? The answer is unlikely. Not to take anything away from Caden McQueen, but these two are so evenly matched.
Caden McQueen, the championship leader, of course, coming into this round.
Oh, Watts is slowing! Watts is slowing! Oh no, has he lost the chain? Whatever it might be, Watts is out.
Still seems to be moving the kart. Is it moving enough to get into the middle of the circuit? Probably is. That is Caden McQueen, championship leader, picked out.
Oh, Luke, he's just had the worst possible luck at the worst time of the season as well, because McQueen and Greenhall are on their A game. He can't afford to be losing points like that too many times this season.
Greenhall was the winner at round 1 in the final.
Oh, it's a big slide through the first corner from Atkins. He almost drifted straight off the road.
Absolutely, but still there in P3. Caden McQueen, of course, won last time out. So that is Luke Watts, retired from the race. Not sure what the problem is, but he's out obviously with some sort of mechanical issue.
Yeah, such a shame. He is one of the stars of the British karting scene at the moment, and that is just such a heartbreaker when there's nothing you've done wrong and the kart just comes to a spluttering halt. It's totally demoralising, but I know he's going to reset from this, regroup and reboot. He and his spanner, as they call them, James Bean, who is one of the legends of the junior and senior TKM scene. He was a works driver for Talco Racing. He won in Champions of the Future in 1998. In the same year, Lewis Hamilton emerged on the scene. He really couldn't learn from much better, so he will regroup. He'll be back to his best.
Oliver Greenhall sets the fastest lap, 49.938.
So this is going to be a gradual duel for victory, as Greenhall is just going to chip away at McQueen's little slender advantage. Little by little, he's going to take ground. Kalai Atkins, third position, giving himself plenty of opportunity to stretch away from Louis Johnston Cool. Not actually able to do it at the moment. Louis Johnston Cool's still there, but he needs to keep his rhythm and flow at this point of the race. Moody, Morsdale, Brown, Otto, Gilbert, and then Coombs, who seems to have dropped off the pace actually. In fact, Coombs is out of the race as well. Not seen what's happened there to Cameron Coombs. I have a feeling he's pulled it into the pits and parked it, because he's certainly not there in 10th position anymore. That's unfortunate. So now just the 9 continuing on, but Moody is trying to stretch well clear of Angus Morsdale. And you're sitting here thinking, 9 drivers, that's not that many competitors out there on the circuit. Well, in Lewis Hamilton's 1998 Champions of the Future year, he only had about 6 or 7 drivers to race against that season, and he's done all right for himself. Brilliant racing. Now, we are going to get to the business end now. McQueen versus Greenhall. It's going to be come and have a go if you think you're hard enough versus, well, come on then, let's see what you've got. These two, the battle of wills is going to be absolutely fever pitch, and there is not long left in this one.
Just over a minute and change into the hairpin. This is an opportunity. Doesn't take it this time. Time's counting down as well, Jake.
Yep. It's now or never really for Greenhall to make that first big move, otherwise Mcqueen could bang in a qualifying style lap and disappear by a couple of lengths, and that will be enough to hold on to it.
And this is a great battle as well, by the way. Cly Atkins from Louis Johnson-Cool. We know Johnson-Cool set the fastest lap in this one, so he's faster than the two out front, but he's not got track position, and he'll want to make up one place at least, because that is a podium.
Here we go, on the inside, Greenhall launches. That was inevitable. He has been building up to this for a while. He makes his launch on the inside. It's now up to Caden Mcqueen to fight back. Greenhall straight away checks over his shoulder. Okay, so that was my move. What are you going to do? Are you going to put me in checkmate? I don't think so.
What have you got in response? Have you got anything, Caden Mcqueen? Because if you have, you better play your cards quickly.
Masterful in the middle of the circuit of the braking zone, and again squeezing Mcqueen out wide. No way are you getting this lead back again, says Oliver Greenhall. I'm placing my kart in all the right places. You can't overtake. Look, right in the dead centre. You can't go left, you can't go right. McQueen's still pushing it. He wants this.
It was 1.8, it's 1.2 as they go through the line. Just shows you that one move has closed the gap by 0.6 of a second.
Last lap of the race, and we're on board with Caden Mcqueen as he chases after Oliver Greenhall. Can he have one more chance?
It's over, Jake.
Yeah,
that is a race-winning advantage. You might not think so, but that is a race-winning advantage for Oliver Greenhall.
No, you're right. He's
5 or 6
out.
kart lengths at this stage. He doesn't need to defend now.
No, absolutely right. And this is absolutely masterclass from Greenhall. Just back him in those couple of apexes. Meanwhile, Cly Atkins is having to defend against Louis Johnston-Cool. McQueen is trying. He's throwing everything at it. He just can't quite get close enough. Atkins is in ultra defensive mode from Louis Johnston-Cool. He should have this, but Oliver Greenhall has snatched it. Excellent race, brilliant, dictatorial in the apexes, and he's claimed it from Caden Mcqueen. Cly Atkins in third, Louis Johnston-Cool frustrated in fourth position from Moody and Mulsdale, but Oliver Greenhall cleans up as Super GT comes through in seventh place ahead of Otto and Gilbert. But Oliver Greenhall has swept all before him. What an amazing job. We'll never quite know what Luke Watts would have been able to do in that battle, of course, but Greenhall gets the job done from McQueen. Atkins in a solid third place from Louis Johnston-Cool. Moody and Mulsdale from Steve Brown, but Oliver Greenhall is the man on top, and rightly so after a battle of wits. Caden Mcqueen will be back though, and you can bet he won't concede a second time.
Well, Caden Mcqueen and Oliver Greenhall have proved to be the class of the field this season so far, and they've done it just again then in that final. Greenhall getting the move done in the closing stages that saw him take the top step of the podium, but by my trackside maths, I think Caden will still have the lead in the championship overall. Let's go and find out what they had to say at the podium.
Oliver, 3 podiums, but it's never better than first, is it? You had a first at round 1, third last time, but first again today. Talk us through your weekend here at Larkhall.
Yeah, it's been a tough weekend because we haven't been here in 2 years and everyone's been here the last 3 weekends. So struggled getting up to speed and sort of been quite steady all weekend, but managed to sort of get there in the final and made the move for the lead when it counted and held on from there.
Yeah, it was great. Tell us who you want to thank for the weekend.
I'd say massive thanks to Fusion Motorsport, especially Chris Rogers, Tom Arm, Dan Hazelwood, my dad, Joe Bullen at Ventus Power. Yeah, that's it.
Well, the championship lead is still there for Caden Mcqueen, but the gap is a little lower. Oliver Greenhall is just 11 points back now. Luke Watts and Cly Atkins very close for third position. On dropped scores, though, Luke Watts is still in contention for the title, so don't count him out. Alex Moody solid in fifth. Louis Johnston-Cool just a few ahead of Steve Brown.
So another exciting final here at Larkhall, and in our final part after the break, we'll be going wheel to wheel with the Miami Cadets. Welcome back to our final instalment of action from the Ultimate Karting Championship. At the last round at Rowrah, one of our biggest grids from the opening round, the Miami Cadet class, was absent as we clashed with another race series. But they're back for round 3, and I'm pleased to say I had a catch-up with championship leader Zach Drummond. At the final in round 1, it was anyone's race going into the closing stages, and Zach pulled off a move in the last corner that saw him take the win.
They've got to be careful into the boot. This is where it's all going to get settled. The long way round the outside comes Morgan Moore to the inside of Wolf. Wolf drifts wide on the grass. Drummond and Edgar on the inside. They've got them. Drummond and Edgar are through into first and second. They're going to take it all.
I had a chat with him and asked him what it was like in the latter stages of that race and what it felt like to take the win.
In round 1 at the UKC at Wilton Mill, the race was really good for me as I dropped down to 13th at the first corner after the Battenberg flag, and then I made a massive mistake, so I had to try and come back from that. And then into the last corner I was 4th place, and then coming out of it I got first, and I'm like, what's going on here? I don't know what's happened, but it's really good because I came from 13th to 1st, and it's quite a good achievement. If you see a gap, you just need to go for it. If it's for the win, just have to go.
Tell me a little about Larkhall. What's the circuit like? Would you call this a fast circuit or a technical circuit? What's the key to doing well here?
The circuit here at Larkhall is technical on the infield, as there's very tight corners. It's quite a flowy track. There's a lot of straights, and it's a good track, I think.
Are there any other drivers under the Fusion tent here who are also racing cadets who you think might give you trouble? Are there any cadets who you think are going to be chasing you this weekend?
It's just everybody's got a chance in the tent.
Yeah.
Like, they're all fast in this tent.
Do you have any drivers that you really enjoy watching and you think, he's my favourite driver, or I want to be like that guy when I'm older?
I'm a big fan of Lando Norris because he's British and he's quite funny like me, and he's just an amazing driver as he came from karting as well.
All right, well listen, Zach, best of luck for the weekend and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
So time for some action from Miami Cadet. Thrills and spills galore. It's going to be Zach Drummond and our cameraman Jacob Ashcroft. Morgan Moore and Sky Parker, Ethan Woodward and Blair Smith from Gorski, Ackerman, Gibson and Graham. 10 drivers, plenty of racetrack to play with here at Larkhall. Let's race! Once again, it's the odd side of the grid, the inside line that gets the better start, but Ashcroft is keeping his foot in and gets a good run round the outside. That keeps him in 3rd position as Morgan Moore goes for the lead, and also through gets Ashcroft. So Moore is into the lead, Ashcroft in 2nd, Zach Drummond is pushed down to 3rd, but let's be fair, Zach Drummond knows this place better than most. He is the Scottish charge, so this is definitely going to be a happy hunting ground if he's got anything to say about it. Ashcroft's going for the lead though, Drummond alongside Moore. Moore is keeping his foot in and cuts across on Zach Drummond. You are not having an easy overtake on me today. Morgan Moore into P2 and doing a great job to fend off from Zach Drummond. Excellent.
No easy places being made up in this championship, or this class particularly, not with these drivers out front. Jacob Ashcroft, we've not seen him at the head of affairs this season. It's been a really difficult season for him, very up and down. I know there's been a few social media posts from his dad who's been a little bit frustrated by what's been going on, but we know Jake from when we filmed him previously in other championships. He is absolute top quality himself, so not a surprise to see him out front. He'll be delighted to be where he is. Let's see if he can stay there.
And 2021 is definitely going to be a coming-of-age season. Look at the way that the tyres are graining already on that side as here comes Morgan Moore up the inside, and through 2 goes Zach Drummond. But already the pressure is rising amongst these 3, and now they've all had a turn at the lead of the race, and now Jacob Ashcroft is already having to go defensive from Sky Parker. And Ethan Woodward is in there as well. So too is Jensen Graham, who has already worked his way forward. So the top 6 are already starting to get clear. We've got Gorski and Smith, who are still very much in their infancy within the Fusion Motorsport awning as cadets. Up the inside goes Drummond. Drummond gets the lead off Moore. So Moore doesn't quite manage to lead going across the line, but he has definitely been the 3rd different leader of this race. The stats won't show it because they only give you the lap lead once you come over the line, of course. So Morgan Moore has got to make sure he's leading the race when he comes out of the final turn if he wants to join the lap leaders. But he's definitely taken his turn at the front. Jensen Graham bangs in the fastest lap as he closes up on the 4th place driver, Sky Parker, the young lady from just over the Welsh border. And she has made such an incredible impression on this Miami Cadet scene in the last 18 months. Her development train is absolutely rocketing. Here's Jensen Graham on the inside, through the hairpin, up into 4th position. Now, that won't concern Sky Parker too much. It's very early days yet. She's still there in 5th position, right on the toe of the leading quartet. And in fact, as you can see, it's a half a dozen charging superstars. When does this ever get dull in Miami Cadet? It's wonderful here at West of Scotland Kart Club, Summerlee Raceway, here at Larkhall, Scotland. It never produces dull races, and it is only going to get better and better from here on in. Drummond, Moore, Ashcroft, Graham, Parker, Woodward. 6 incredible young talents that are going to have such a big future in karting. A lot of these could go the way of the Grand Prix one day. Kart Masters is obviously coming up a week from now. These guys want to be there, and this is going to be an interesting charge now from Ashcroft up the inside line. Here we go, making the way through. Nicely done on the inside of Morgan Moore. Morgan Moore's got to be careful because here comes Jensen Graham now up the inside. That'll do nicely. P3.
Sky Parker in the mix as well in 5th place. That's Zach Drummond picked out, the championship leader. Sky Parker, another one of the young ladies doing well.
Nicely done from Morgan Moore. He lost the place a corner ago and then felt, you know what, I'm not settling for that. I'm getting straight back on with this. Into 3rd position. That has opened up a little bit of a gap back to Jacob Ashcroft in 2nd place. So now Ashcroft is going to try and deal with Zach Drummond. Sky Parker for Team Ultimate R, currently running in 5th position. Doing an excellent job, Sky Parker, and having a really good run of things at the moment. She's currently in Fusion colours, but of course is coached very, very rapidly by the Hinchleys. Both Ben and Matty looking after her. Oh, side by side, Jensen Graham having a look as we look at his details on the screen, trying to make his bid to get through on Morgan Moore. Hasn't quite worked out yet, but these two are starting to stretch out an advantage. There is Ethan Woodward, 6th position, still in touch with the leading 5. Does he make a move? He has a think about it on Sky Parker. But the leading 2 are loving this. Drummond and Ashcroft, they're pulling away from the 4 drivers further back. If they keep squabbling, they're going to lose a lot of ground to the 2 drivers up front. So they've got to hope that these 4 are just going to keep squabbling because they'll get a natural advantage that will just grow and grow and grow. Off the final turn, back they come again. Graham, Moore, Parker and Woodward chasing down the leading 2. Moore on the inside, beautiful move, 3rd position. That is so hard to pull off. But again, this is exactly what Drummond and Ashcroft want. These 4 keep battling, they're going to lose ground, and suddenly Drummond and Ashcroft are going to be a million miles ahead.
And there's another move, or an attempted move anyway, he's not quite worked, but as you say, Jake, if they battle for the lead, it allows the 4 behind to get closer. Jensen Graham highlighted in green on the left tower. He's the one with the fastest lap.
Sky Parker just gets her move there on the inside of Jensen Graham. That's another confidence boosting move for Sky Parker. Now comes Jensen Graham back on the inside line. Great battles in the top 6. Every single move a great one at the moment. No sloppy driving from these 6 at all. They are digging deep and finding momentum and opportunity in spades. Morgan Moore just trying to get that quartet back up to the leading duo as he controls the pace at the moment. Graham and Parker swapping 4th place a couple of times, and Ethan Woodward is just staying in this battle.
Gorski and Blair Smith trying to catch them, but it's a long way back from there. I don't think they're going to get onto the back of them.
Well, you say that, but all it's going to take is a little bit of wheel banging and dueling from Drummond and Ashcroft in front of them, and all of a sudden Morgan Moore will think Christmas has come early because he'll suddenly find the 2 leaders within striking distance. Down the back straight, through that long right sweeper. Jacob Ashcroft has been working so hard to get up to the same sort of pace as Zach Drummond this season. Now he's battling him for the first time for the lead. He's an unknown quantity, an unknown factor as far as Zach Drummond is concerned. Oh, now that is a technical flag. Jensen Graham, the number 27. That is so unfortunate. Now, whether a chain guard's come off or it's a loose bumper, whatever it is, his brilliant drive is going to come to nothing. Drummond is starting to defend now. As a result of Ashcroft getting close now, we're going to go into the last lap. Jensen Graham does continue, so he's going to hope he can black it in the office afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the race is on. Drummond versus Ashcroft. Here we go. Ashcroft is stepping up the attack. Drummond is parking the inside apex nicely. So this is going to be close. Morgan Moore's going to step up the attack now. Sky Parker closing up on Jensen Graham. Graham's actually trying to look to see if there's anything wrong with his car as he continues on. It's the rear bumper, Jensen. You won't know that. Here's Drummond on the inside. Ashcroft trying to sweep around. Morgan Moore's got good momentum. He could get in a second here. Ashcroft's going to try. Up to the hairpin. And this is going to be tight. Moore is trying to come around the outside of Ashcroft as well. Ashcroft right in behind Drummond. Drummond is going to protect this inside line like crazy. They touch each other. Moore is down the inside. Ashcroft waits, gets on the power, drives past them both, and Parker is through as well. Brilliant from Ashcroft. Wisdom from Sky Parker, just waiting for the chance. Moore down on the inside of the final turn, drifts wide. Drummond's going to get the podium, but it's Ashcroft who wins from Sky Parker and Zach Drummond. Graham fourth over the line from Morgan Moore and Ethan Woodward. Amazing from Ashcroft. Beats Sky Parker to the flag. Drummond is third from Morgan Moore and Ethan Woodward. Sadly, Jensen Graham was disqualified in scrutineering, so that promotes Gorski, Smith, Gibson and Ackerman. But for Jacob Ashcroft ahead of Sky Parker, that's game-changing confidence for those two. Welcome to the big show.
Well, how about that for those cadets racing there? Zach Drummond doing everything he could for the whole of that race, trying to keep Jacob Ashcroft at bay, but in the finish, a little move on this, second to last corner here, and suddenly Jacob was in the lead and took the wind, and Sky Parker picks up the second step of the podium. Well done to her. Let's go and join Jacob then at the podium and see what he had to say.
Jacob, it's been a bit of a tough season for you. You've been up and down all season, but today, what a fantastic result. Great final. Just talk us through the final.
Yeah, it was a good race. At the start, I got a good start, managed to slot in on third, and I followed in Morgan Moore, number 93, into the back corner over there, and he went for a move on Zach Drummond, and I followed him through, and then Zach got me back, and then I went for a move on Morgan and pushed away with him, and Morgan managed to catch us at the end, and on the last lap he went for a move on me and Zach at the same time, and it pushed him and Zach wide, and I managed to get the cut back, and I managed to finish the race in first.
Took the win. Fantastic. Who do you want to thank for your weekend?
My mum, my dad, and SFR for letting us go in the awning for the weekend.
Okay, well done.
Well, that could be the turning point in the championship for Jacob Ashcroft and Sky Parker. Zach Drummond is still the championship leader, but now Ashcroft and Parker have got their seasons off to a decent run. Morgan Moore is still in the hunt for the title as well. Ethan Woodward, and if Lewis Rowell returns, he's going to be fighting for it too. Plenty still to do.
So another round of the Ultimate Karting Championship comes to a close, and what a weekend it's been. The Summerlee circuit here at Larkhall really didn't disappoint. Next time you join us, it'll be for round 4, and the racing will be coming from the stunning North Wales circuit that is Glannygores. So I really do hope you can join us then. But for now, from all of us here in Scotland, see ya.